Welcome back to my channel, my crystal kings and queens. So today's video I am doing a walkthrough and review of the Oriens Tarot deck, the second edition I believe, and then the first edition but the mini version of it. So there is so much I gotta say about this deck in particular, but I am going to make this video as quick as I possibly can. First and foremost, let's go ahead and just get into what all came with this. I purchased it in a bundle, so it was these two decks, and then it was also the book. So it does not come with the book. You have to buy the book separately, and it is what it is at that point. The book itself feels super nice. It's like that velvet matte. And then the box itself that holds the deck also carries that same feeling somewhat. So that's pretty neat. Let me go ahead though and get into this book. In the book, it, like any other book, provides descriptions of each and every card. Also, because this deck is pretty animal based, she gives fun facts about the animals, so on and so forth. She has a table of contents, which is probably by far the most in-depth table of contents I've seen, which is pretty darn neat, I might say. I really appreciated that. And then in here she has this message: tarot reading is a personal experience relying heavily on interpretation by the diviner. This guidebook was written to assist in your readings. Feel free to disregard and follow your own heart and voice in your journey of discovery. And I take that message to heart because of this simple fact. This book, this deck, and I'm sweating just thinking about it, y'all. I can't even get a hold of it, get a hold of myself. This book has to be, I don't even know. This deck, I've never read so many negative, condescending, negative and condescending messages. Both upright messages and reverse messages. How are they both negative? And it's not even negative in just, you know, a normal way, if that's even really a thing. Like it's the most obscure thing. I don't believe enough people talk about this. I don't believe this deck is for the lighthearted. I do believe if you are a very advanced tarot reader, an intuitive tarot reader, then maybe this deck is for you. But this deck by far is not for me. Has the most absolute beautiful artwork you'll probably see in a lot of cards, but represents the animals in the pictures very, very well. So much so that I just really love her artwork, which is why I was drawn to purchasing this deck. However, the messages that are given behind these upright and reverse cards, they do not vibe with me at all. And I have recently experienced a spiritual attack under this deck. So do as you will with that information. I just want you all to be knowledgeable of what you are getting, because everybody don't tell you about their experience or what, you know, they really think of certain things. So yeah, you may see flip throughs and walkthroughs, reviews of certain decks, but can somebody tell me what a few of these cards say? Because naturally certain cards in the deck shouldn't carry certain meanings, and in her book, in her deck, they do, and they are the absolute most negative messages I have ever read. Now, some may think, oh, that must mean that your life is upside down. You ain't doing something right. You got a lot going on. Absolutely not. I am very much well intact. You know, everyone has life to deal with, but I can guarantee you right now, these messages wishing or saying that someone's luck will be taken away, someone, you know, will have a life full of problems, saying that, you know, you have a demon on your shoulder. Like, I can't, this ain't it. This book is not for me. This deck is not for me. So I say all of that to say this. I will do a very honest review on this deck because, again, I love the artwork, but the messages, what came with this deck, shan't stay in my house at all. So let's go ahead and quickly get into it. This is the mini deck. It has a magnetic clasp, which is pretty cool. And that's, you know what, also thinking about this, when I can't even get it together trying to do this review. I had to quickly do this so I can just get this out my house. I can't. The packaging that my things came in, when I tell you destroyed, the box, so it came in a packaging pack, and inside that packaging pack was a box that held the contents of the deck. The packaging pack was completely dirty, just filthy, but inside my box, inside the box that I had to open in order to retrieve my 2 decks and my booklet, destroyed. I mean, this box looked like it had been torn into, opened, carelessly wrapped in tape, half-ass wrapped. Like, there was nothing positive about receiving this deck. And I paid, from her website, $131 USD, converted into 166 AUD. That was for the second edition, this mini deck, and the booklet. It was all a bundle. Again, I was super excited to receive it because everybody had so many great things to say about this deck, and I wanted it. And when I got it, it was so carelessly presented. It made absolutely no sense. And then furthermore, opening, you know, into the box itself and retrieving my items, and the vibe that I got off of the items, like, I don't know if this was just a bad deck. I don't know if this, I don't know. I have not a single clue, but I can tell you what, this was just not for me. And because of it, I'm just very, very unhappy with the way I received this. I've never ever received anything in such a manner that it was just highly disgusting. I could not even open it in my own house. I had to open it outside and discard everything. So I'm sorry, this has just turned out to be a bunch of venting, but I just really want people to know and understand, like, I have nothing but love for those that, you know, for those that may not even receive love or anything for that matter. But what I'm trying to say is, I don't mind showing support, and I love when people are extremely creative and they're doing something different. And this, I just thought was going to be that one deck for me, and unfortunately it did not turn out to be so. I'm just this whole experience, and then the spiritual attack, Jesus, help me get it together. Y'all, I apologize, forgive me, because legit, I've been up for a few hours, bright and early in the morning, and usually I am the one that'll sleep during the day because I have to go to work at night. But God dog, the dream that I had, the spiritual attack that came upon me with this deck sleeping next to me, I popped out my sleep so fast. I said, this has to go. So here we are. I am recording this video so that you can see an honest review of this, and do as you will with it. You know, you can hate it, you can love it. It's not much of my concern. I can't keep this deck at all whatsoever. So here we are, the Oriens mini tarot deck, first edition. This is what it says on the inside of the box. This box is made in gratitude and dedicated to my stars that guide me in the dark. On the right side, may the stars guide you in the dark. And then the back, you have, you know, everything else that she's explaining. The Oriens Tarot deck is an animal themed card deck that reflects nature through mythical and ethereal means, allowing you to spiritually connect with the universe and yourself through the exquisite art of divination. I feel like I opened a portal bringing this into my home. I'm unhappy. I am unhappy, you hear me? So here's the gilding, the sides of the cards, super pretty. Like, man, this is so pretty. I have not seen anything like this on any of the cards that I actually own. So I just thought that that was really gorgeous, a whole rainbow on this deck. And then you have the other side, and then this is the front of, or the base of the card. This is what you get. So we're just gonna go and flip through. The second edition is just the same, a little different in coloring, I think she said, and she changed a few of the font colors or something like that. I don't really know, but let's go ahead and get into it. These cards are out of order as I've already shuffled them. So this is what the spread looks like. I will not be shuffling this deck. I am just here to show you what it is. So here we have the High Priest, the Empress, Nine of Pentacles, Three of Cups, Six of Swords, Ace of Wands, King of Cups, the Magician, the World, the Chariot, Seven of Swords, Ace of Pentacles, Justice, Nine of Swords, Five of Swords, the Emperor, Strength, Four of Cups, Page of Cups, Eight of Cups, Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, Knight of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Judgment, Seven of Cups, Eight of Swords, Two of Cups, Page of Wands, the Hermit, the Fool, Ace of Cups, the Star, Six of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, Queen of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, Six of Wands, Ten of Cups, Nine of Cups, Ten of Swords, Ace of Swords, the Lovers, Nine of Wands, the Tower, 10 of Pentacles, 3 of Wands, one of my favorite cards in her deck, Queen of Pentacles, the Moon, yep. Queen of Swords, King of Swords, Page of Swords, 5 of Cups, Death, 4 of Swords, Knight of Wands, Queen of Wands, Knight of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, Hierophant, the Sun, the Hanged One, the Devil, Temperance, 3 of Swords, King of Pentacles, looks like a bull there, my zodiac, the Taurus, 8 of Wands, 4 of Wands, 7 of Wands, King of Wands, Page of Pentacles, 2 of Wands, and then the last card, 5 of Wands. So I believe there are 78 cards in her deck. In each deck, which is cool. Again, like I said, like I've never read so many negative upright and negative reversed cards. Like, I thought it was one or the other. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, you know, but I expected positive somewhere, some positivity somewhere, but only to run into a few positive messages here and there. Like, I don't know. I believe in words having power, speaking things into your atmosphere. I believe those things carry in power, and for that reason alone, you know, I'm careful with what I speak over my life. If there's things that I need to attend to, things that I need to recognize, acknowledge so that I can fix, absolutely, then that is something that is, you know, needed to be taken care of. But don't wish, you know, don't speak no foolishness into my spirit, into my atmosphere, into my aura that don't need to be there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just not with that. The second edition, the box is not a magnetic clasp. There is a thumb imprint, indent, whatever you want to call it, so that you can open the box fairly easily. This is what the inside of the box is, just the same as the first. This is the base of the cards, the same, and then the same message as well on the back, and then her website. This is non-spawn at all whatsoever, so you know what I'm saying, you know, whatever. Anyways, this is what the inside of the box is. Let's go through the cards as they are, just the same, except the gilding is different. This is really unique. This red gilding, you know what this red gilding reminds me of? Everyone loves it so much, but it actually reminds me of like the old school Bibles, for those of us who grew up, you know, in the church, no matter what denomination, no matter what denominational church. But this is what the old school Bibles look like, you know what I mean? That it just gives me old school feels, old school vibes. Anyway, these cards are much bigger, as you can see. Hang on, let me find a card to compare it with. So here is the size difference. Very, very different, might I say. But it's cool. This is more tarot size. This is travel pack size, however you like to call it. So let me just go through. This is the first card. I'm not going to call them out, as I've done that with the with the first edition, sorry. Hang on. I don't know if any of the pictures changed. I didn't really pay attention, so they may or may not have. And it's so crazy because I would, go into the book and show you the very example of what I mean, but I just don't feel like any of that is necessary or needs to be shown or spoken about. Meaning, I don't want to read from this book. I kid you not. The nightmare I had, Jesus Christ, the spirit that came to me via this deck, because I tell you what, there's nothing else I had going on in my house or around my house until this deck came in. And it's so crazy because, like I said, it's such a gorgeous deck. The animals, the artwork, like, it's all so fun and creative and exactly like she said, ethereal. It's so nice. But the messages behind these really pretty cards are just, they're just not, I don't know, is tantalizing the word for this? It's just not good. It's not good at all. And you can agree or disagree for those who are watching this video that actually own this deck, or those that are considering buying this deck. But I could tell you what, I've watched a ton of flip throughs and videos on these on this deck, and none of them told me that the messages that came through were as negative and demonic as the messages in this book that came with this goddamn tarot deck. Like, nobody talks about the messages. Maybe that's why a lot of intuitive readers don't read from some of the decks, because exactly as this author said, an illustrator said, well, exactly as this author said, you can disregard these messages and channel your own intuitive messages. And maybe I should have started like that, I don't know, but because I'm fresh and a beginner in this whole thing, you know what I'm saying, these messages got me all messed up. I know you lying. Like, these cards gotta go. They can't stay. They cannot stay. So I am working on either sending these back, or they will be discarded appropriately in a very traditional fashion that my family operates in. But these cards can't stay here. This book in specific, because I had a dream of this. I had a nightmare. It's not even a dream, it was a nightmare. I had a nightmare of this very book. This guidebook that these cards came with. So anyway, I'm not, this video was not intended to instill any negativity upon anyone's day. However, I just wanted to tell you all what a lot of people aren't telling you about this deck, which is what I didn't understand, because I'm like, again, like I said, how can these cards be so beautiful and have such negative connotations behind it, and such condescending messages, such, demonic spirit surrounding it? Again, maybe it's just this deck that was sent to me. Maybe it was just these decks and this guidebook that was sent to me. Maybe, I don't know. It doesn't change the messages that are in the book, obviously. So if you get this book, you read through it. You read through it and see what I'm saying. Like, all the damn upright messages are just negative as hell, and so are the reversed meanings. I just can't. So for that reason alone, on top of the way these cards were received to me, they gotta go. Like, that's a big no-no. And then on her website, there is not even a, there is nowhere on her website that explains a return and refund policy. It's absolutely nowhere. And from discussing with the author, it seems to me that the only way you can return this product and get a refund is if everything was damaged. No ma'am, my cards did not come damaged, and I tell you what, my cards actually came half packaged. So the paper packaging that my box was within was dirty and disgusting. The box was poorly taped, torn, looked terrible and disgusting. And then my tarot cards were half packed with plastic. The top portion of the cards had plastic, not the bottom portion of the cards. My booklet came with no packaging. It was just inside the box. Like, there was no protection for these cards, this book, like nothing. So this whole setup was just a setup, legit, an open portal of negativity. And that's really unfortunate, because these cards are really gorgeous and I really, really like them, but they can't stay here. So needless to say, this book, this box, everything goes back. If this is, again, something if this is something you feel like you like or want to be a part of, then by all means, this video is not to discourage anyone from buying this deck, but this is just not for me. I won't be utilizing this deck, even giving it to my mom so that she can get a reading. She got a reading and immediately was like, I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Like, I've never seen her so fast put down a deck. Forgive me, my alarm stopped the video, but again, like I was saying, I've never seen my mom put down a deck so fast ever. She was just not having it. So that was our walkthrough and review. Y'all forgive me for my rant and my distaste in this whole entire experience, but thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for rocking with me. I appreciate all of the love and encouragement, and may we further ourselves in this journey. Crystal kisses and royal blessings. I'll see you in the next video.